Hi, my name is Dara Thomason, and I am the weight loss coach for quilters. I never in my wildest dreams thought that I would be teaching anyone about weight loss because weight loss was such a struggle for me for so long. And so I want you to just we're like sitting having some tea. Got this like cute little tea here. I've actually got mine right here in front of me. And I want us to imagine that we're just chatting. We're just having this conversation and we're talking about those things that are really stressful and a struggle. And I know that weight loss truly has held me back at times in my life. And I know that it's holding you back. And so I made this video because I don't want you to be feeling like you're stuck. It's not necessary. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit. There's two reasons why I'm making this video. One is because I want you to know that you no longer have to suffer. And two is there is a process that will help you to become permanently thin. And you truly never have to worry about putting the weight back on. And so I'm going to tell you just a little bit about my story and then how it evolved to being the weight loss coach for quilters who has come up with this process of losing the weight over 2 years. I've lost it and more three, kept it off. And with like effort, I have 5 kids, like all of it. Okay. So I'm going to take you on a little journey. And then when we're done the journey, I'll just talk to you a little bit about how it can be possible for you. So growing up, I didn't really have a lot of weight loss issues. My mom was like always doing like exercise and talking about her weight and trying to do up her zipper. And so there was there was kind of a hyper awareness of like my body image. And so that was kind of like in the back of my mind thinking, oh my goodness, when I get older, that's probably something I'm going to have to deal with. My grandmas, they were never like obese or anything, but they definitely had some extra weight and they often would make comments about I shouldn't have this cupcake or I shouldn't do this thing. So there was just kind of that buzz in the back of my mind about that. And when I got to university, when I was in grade 9, I grew like I went from the shortest girl in the class to being 6 feet tall in a really short time. And people would make comments on my body and I was really uncomfortable with it. I wasn't used to people like talking about my body and how I was like, I should be a model and I was so skinny. And it just didn't feel like comfortable for me. And I knew that there was a lot of guys that were attracted to this really thin, tall body. And I didn't want to put a lot of time and effort into it. So I went through university, was able to stay thin. And then I went to France for 18 months and I knew how to eat and I really enjoyed eating. And I overate like crazy and I gained probably 30 pounds. I don't even actually know how much I weighed because that was nothing I did. I didn't ever really go on the scale. And I came back from that experience and I thought, well, it's just, the France patisserie chub. And I just kept the weight on and I kind of put it on and then took it off. And so I just was at this really uncomfortable state in my body. And in fact, a lot of it was really subconscious. Like I remember buying clothes and thinking, why am I having to buy this size? Like, when did I become this size? And what are they doing? Like the manufacturers are like really messed up with their sizes. Like I was so in denial of like being overweight and really accepting the weight that I was at. And it felt really strange to me. And I like clothes would feel super like pinched. And I'm like, why aren't my zippers like going up? And it really never occurred to me to like take full ownership. And so I struggled with my weight. And kind of like hiding from it, but not really wanting to deal with it. And I was being a school teacher at the time. So I worked full time and I worked a lot. Like I was that teacher that was there till 6 or 7 every night. And then I had like church responsibilities that I took very seriously. I didn't ever really feel super comfortable being with myself. I was always busy doing things for other people. And every once in a while I would, fit in time for myself to do something like quilting. And it'd usually be like on a late Saturday night or something, because I always put myself last. I was always putting everyone else ahead of me. And the weight just kind of kept on and would kind of wane a little, and then it would wax. And eventually at like 26-ish, my friend, really close friend who'd watched me since I was like 12, she's like, Dara, what's going on with you? Why are you holding on to this weight? Like, why are you at this extra weight? And I really wasn't, I really truly wasn't aware of how much weight I was at, because I cut my brain off my body. I was super unconnected to my body. And we talked about it, and essentially my parents got divorced when I was in my early 20s, and it scared me. It scared me that I don't know if I would be able to be in a marriage. I don't know if I, could trust somebody. It was really, really scary. And so I ended up deciding this isn't how I want to live my life. I don't want to be hiding. I don't want to have this like totally being clueless of how much I weigh. And so one of my old roommates had a sister who was a psychologist, a therapist, and I thought I should go and spend some time with her. And I did. And it was really, really helpful. And I was able to really like see that, how that fear of being married and having that, like this, being able to trust someone like that was really holding me back. And food was one of my escapes. Working was one of my escapes. Serving other people, like people pleasing, all of that. But food was part of it. And when I was able to really start seeing that, what happened was I got married. And in fact, it was so interesting because the person I married had been like my really good friend. And it didn't take long for us to get engaged and get married, because we both needed to figure that part out. And I was just ready. And so my life started then. And then I went from like highs and lows of like losing weight and gaining weight. I had 5 babies, and but what I found was that I really came from a place of, you better be skinny, you better get this weight, you better not, be a bad example to your kids. And my weight was a way of proving that I was good enough. My weight was just this way of deciding if I was a good human or not, if I was taking care of my body. And so I did struggle with my weight, my whole, like raising the kids. And I used a lot of punishment and a lot of like, you better smarten up kind of talk to myself to get me like back on track, which wasn't very loving at all. And then I got an injury and I wasn't able to run like I used to, because that was one of the ways that I would keep the weight off after my 5th baby. And when I couldn't run anymore, I was petrified. I was so scared because I didn't feel like I could trust myself around food. I couldn't keep myself in check because I had lots of willpower and I had a lot of determination, and I would hit those trails and I would get those shoes on. There's a lot of like really negative stuff with that. And when I had the injury in my hip and I couldn't run, I was very fearful. And around that time, we moved to a place that it was very expensive to live, and we paid the most money for the smallest house, and I had left this really amazing long arm quilting business, and I had this incredible like partnership with the local quilt shop, and I just loved where we were. We were finally making some headway financially, and we moved, and I just gained a bunch of weight, and I didn't see a way out. And that was so 2018. I was the heaviest I'd ever been without being pregnant, and I felt discouraged. And in fact, I remember sitting at the kitchen table and I was doing the math. I thought, okay, well, I guess and I was 40, 45, something like that. I thought, okay, perimenopause is starting. I'm just going to have to gain 5 pounds a year. So I literally did the math in my head. And I was like, okay, I guess by the time I'm 75, I'm going to be 302 pounds. And it scared me. And I felt very discouraged. And, I could only willpower for so long and I didn't have the exercise to fall back on. It wasn't good. And, so in the summer of 2018, I was scrolling through Instagram because, when you don't feel good about yourself, you try to like hide away. Um, and Instagram is one of those places where you can kind of hide. Time can go by and you don't even realize it's gone. And there was a fellow, a quilt designer, fabric quilt designer, who became a life coach. And she said, if any of you struggle with weight or you feel like you're not really where you want to be in life, message me and I can be your coach for 6 weeks. It's for free because I'm being certified. And at that point, I was so discouraged and I felt like, I don't know how I'm gonna keep going. And so I just said, yeah, I don't know what this is about. I don't understand it. But the alternative was so scary to me, for me to like feel so doomed, like that I would never be able to change. And so I remember those sessions and thinking, because she had said, she's like, I can help you solve any problem. And I thought, no way, there's no way you can. I said, there's too many problems in my life. I cannot overcome them. And the house we were living in, like it was like we had to transform our garage so that I could have my long arm in there. My daughter was sleeping in that same room. Like it just seemed like, and everything was so expensive. And I couldn't really have people come and bring me quilts. They could mail me quilts because my house was, my garage was my studio was in a garage and it was my daughter's bedroom. Like it just felt very, I felt flooded. I felt like there's just no hope. And every week I would bring her a problem that I didn't think she could solve. I thought, no, this is it. Like, there's no way you can solve this problem. This problem is unsolvable. And every single session, she solved the problem. And she had these tools and they work. And as I kept going, I started using these tools and I started implementing them. And I started losing weight. And I started like writing my book and getting it published. I started teaching. I went all across Canada in 2019. I went to 5 different cities in airplanes and they paid me. And I went to the States and I got the teacher award. And I taught at retreats. Like I started living the life that I really wanted. And I had like all these customers bring me their quilts and I was just loving my life. And I, by May of 2019, I had lost 30 pounds and I was thrilled. I was only 6 pounds heavier than what I was when I got married. And that's when I was like running like 4 or 5 times a week. And I just couldn't believe it. And I was so thrilled. And I went to quilt market and I was doing all of these things and I just kept losing weight that I didn't even think I could lose. Because I was like, oh, I've got like perimenopause and, how can I keep losing weight? And so it ends up, I lost 20 more pounds without even thinking it was possible. And I have kept that weight off since Christmas of it's December 2019. And yes, we've had COVID and we've had all these different things. Even just like 2 weeks ago, I was up 9 pounds and I'm down again. Like that's how weight goes. We go up and we go down. And I am amazed at everything that has happened in this body of mine, this relationship with my body, how I've changed it, and then building my business. I actually hadn't intended to be a weight loss coach. I was helping quilters build their long arm quilting businesses and becoming authors, and that was the road I was going on. And then I was teaching a course, and then I was teaching in classes, and they'd been watching me shrink, and they said, "Well, can you help us lose weight?" And I thought, "Oh, well, I could share some things." So I just kind of started like saying a little bit on the side and here and there. And then I was really helping people transform their lives. And I thought, this is really needed in our community. are these ladies need to have less weight, physical and mental weight that they're carrying around so that they can produce all these beautiful quilts that they're doing, and they can go and live their dreams. They can go and like finish those quilts. They can go to quilt retreats. They can have the energy and stamina that they wanted to have to go on these like awesome vacations that they had planned on their whole life because now they're retired. They want to be on the floor playing with their grandkids. They want to be doing these things. And so I became certified, and I am now a weight loss coach. And so much of what I do has nothing to do with calories, has nothing to do with counting your steps. It's all in here. It's all changing your relationship with food. It has been such an incredible honor to watch these women transform their lives. And so over the last 2 years, so I'm recording this in March of 2022, March of 2022, I have watched so many. So I have done one-on-one coaching, and then I got so busy with that. I had over 23 one-on-one clients, and then I started a group program. I ran that program 6 or 7 times. And now I'm so pleased to offer my lifetime membership. And so my lifetime membership, you have 12 modules that I walk you through every single step of the process, which is not overly complicated. That's why I broke everything down. It's very simple. I used to teach grade 5 and 6. So this is I've like simplified it. So there's 12 modules, and it goes from weight loss science is simple to creating total confidence in like every aspect of your life. And I walk you through that whole thing, and you get them on demand. So as soon as you sign up for Love Yourself Thin, you get your own little place in the portal, and you just start going and you watch these videos. And I have really helpful guides, worksheets, and just really helping your brain learn all of this information in such a wonderful and easy process. And then the other thing that happens is because weight loss has been so much shame attached to it, and you feel like you have to be hiding. And we have 3 live coaching calls a week. So 3 hours, you can come to one, you can come to all 3. And it's amazing to watch your brain start learning that you can solve any problem, that you can figure these things out, that you're never stuck. And every Monday, in fact, we do a deep dive into one of the concepts from the Love Yourself Thin process, which is a beautiful thing. And and so it just helps you learn things in a different way. That's just so helpful. And then the other 2 calls are you bring anything to me and we can solve any problem. And weight loss is no longer going to be a stress or a strain. And the reason I have it as a lifetime, so you pay once, you pay $2,000 and you're in for life. So anything I do, all my bonus projects, all my everything, it's all included. You never have to, you never have to pay me another dime. And it's because it's like you are now in this really beautiful community where we support you and we help you, and my coaches, myself, all the other ladies, there's women in that program who have lost 70 pounds, and they just love being in the program. They love giving back. They love the experience of being together, and they are learning how to create this new life where they go kayaking and they have lots of energy, and they have appropriate boundaries with their daughter-in-law, and they are able to say no without feeling guilty. They're able to prioritize their quilting in their own time and not feel like they're being selfish or rude or any of those things. So I want to let you know that weight loss is 100% doable. And in fact, I even have a money back guarantee that you will lose 20 pounds in the first 90 days. It is so clear. The process is so clear. And the way that you overcome the obstacles, whatever obstacle comes, is just so doable. It's so attainable, and it's so sustainable, the way that I teach my process. So that's a little bit more about me. And it really does, like there's often like mornings or evenings when I'm just laying in bed and I start, or I catch myself in the mirror and I'm walking and I think, this is my life. This is my body. Like, I can't believe that I'm at this size. It took me a while to like find the right size again because I kept going to the larger sizes when I go shopping. I'm like, no, 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 no. And even sometimes I'd fold the laundry and I'd think, whose pants are these? And it was always just such a like a joy to me. I'm like, oh, these are my pants. These fit me. And the relationship that you change with yourself is just so much more fun. Being you is so much more fun. And I want to invite you to join us. I really like, there is no circumstance, there's no person, there's no PCOS or any of those diagnoses that could keep you from losing the weight. I'm so certain of it. And if you've done this, you've gone down this road so many times before, that's okay. The more you failed, the better it is. We have so much more data and we can be so much more successful with weight loss. So I wanted to invite you to join Love Yourself Thin. I had a client just yesterday in our lifetime membership call, and she has lost 18 pounds in 7 weeks. And it was so awesome. She's like, I have good and bad. She's like, it's bad that I waited this long. She's like, as soon as I heard your podcast and as soon as I heard what you were saying, I knew that this was the way to lose weight. I knew this was the way, but she had resistance because she had felt like such a failure in the past. And in fact, I just got a thank you letter from one of my clients who, at first, she hired me as a one-on-one coach, and then we worked together for about 8 months one-on-one, and then she was in 2 of my groups, and she was in my mastermind, and now she's in the lifetime membership. And this is what she wrote there. I'm really enjoying the lifetime program, and I'm so thankful you offered it. It is very helpful and so interesting to me to go through the modules again and think about how my answers have changed from several months ago. I am definitely peeling away the layers. I cannot truly express how much the coaching has meant to me. I truly believe it is the missing piece in managing my weight and my health, and I am seeing it overflow into every other part of my life. So join us. I would love to get a letter from you. Isn't this a cute letter? I would, because I know that this will be you. And all you need to do is just say yes. All you need to do is allow yourself the opportunity to change. If you keep telling yourself, I can never change, nothing can be different, if you keep repeating that story, then you will. You'll just have the same life doing the same thing. That's called your personality. Your personality is what you do every day, all day. You create that. And this expression, old keys don't open new doors. So if you just keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're just going to have the same results. But the Love Yourself Thin process is this new key. And you come in once, and it's like this whole new world of possibility that you never have to leave, that you have all the support you could ever imagine and ever need in there. There is so many support systems within the Love Yourself Thin program. And I know it's going to make a difference. And one of the questions that I want to ask just before I leave, if you were listening to this for, let's say, your grandchild or your sister or someone who really struggles with something, and you knew, like, in your gut, right, that this is the thing that's going to help them, would you pay the $2,000? Would you figure out how to pay that money for them? Because you're like, yeah, I know this is going to help them. I know this will make the difference. This is the difference. So what is the difference for you to do it for yourself? Especially when you know there's a money back guarantee. So there's actually no risk involved. So this is the question I want to leave you with. You are so awesome to be watching this video. I really enjoyed spending this time with you as we have this chat. And my heart just is full when I think of all the times that I sat in this chair talking to ladies who were so discouraged about their weight and felt so down and out and felt like they could never be that successful. And I'm telling you, this lady, this card, she was totally convinced that she would never be able to lose the weight. It has been a lifelong struggle. And she is 60, early 60s. Ever since she's a little girl. Her mom took her to the doctor and said, we need some, weight loss pills. She never ever imagined that could be her. And now her life is completely different, like she said. And she's playing with her grandkids and her marriage and what she's created for herself. And the thing that's been so hard for her, and this is what I find in so many of the ladies in my program, is they are very, very competent women. They're like overcompetent, like they excel in almost every single area of their life, but weight loss has been just like their cross that they've had to bear. They just feel like it is something they could never overcome, and it was so difficult and so hard. And I want you to know that it doesn't need to be. It really doesn't. And it is such an honor. And it is such a privilege to be able to walk you through all of it and support you all along the way. When you think of lifetime, you think, oh, how long is Dara going to live? How long am I going to live? So you get everything for life. You get everything. And this program, it's its own life. It's just going to keep growing and growing. And eventually, once I leave, which I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, it will just move to the next hands. Like Love Yourself Thin is the way to lose the weight and keep it off. And it is truly the greatest gift you will ever give yourself, because you will no longer be afraid to be in this beautiful head of yours. You'll be able to embrace all of you and love all of you and really start living the life you've always wanted to live. It has been so wonderful to talk to you. I was glad I could share this time with you. And I invite you to respond to this video wherever you're watching it and tell me, what would it mean for you to lose the weight? What would it mean for you to never have to worry about gaining the weight back? Like once you got there, you never have to worry about it. What would you change in your life? What would you do different in your life? I want to hear from you. It is, like I said, it's just been so fun to spend this time with you. And I can't wait to get a letter from you saying, hey, Dara, thank you for believing in me. Thank you for putting that video out that one day. I was having such a hard day and I just felt like I was going to give up. And I didn't see anywhere out. I didn't see any light at the tunnel. And this is it. So trust your instincts, trust your gut. This is the missing piece, because I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to give you a checklist of all the things you should and shouldn't eat. I mean, there's support there, don't you worry. But this is all about who you become when you truly learn how to be comfortable and safe in your own brain. And you can change that relationship with food. You change that relationship with your body, and you too will lose the weight and keep it off forever. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.